Prince Andrew has been stripped of his honorary Freedom of York title in the latest blow for the disgraced Duke, following a unanimous vote by York City councillors voted for the removal in an extraordinary council meeting held on Wednesday evening at the York Racecourse. It comes after the Prince earlier this year reached an out-of-court settlement with his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, in a civil sex claim filed in the U.S. It means that he has now avoided a potentially explosive trial, with the settlement said to be £12 million. Andrew has continually denied the allegations against him. Many councillors discussing the motion to remove Prince Andrew's honorary Freedom of the City of York in the meeting this evening noted that the move was morally a starting point for the changes they felt should be made. Andrew has continuously denied the allegations against him. Image: Peter McDermott, LNP. A number of the councillors and members of public who spoke at the meeting at York Racecourse on Wednesday called for either the Queen or the government to strip Andrew of the title Duke of York, thereby removing what Labour councillor Aisling Musson called this stain of an association with this city. He is the first person ever to have the Freedom of the City removed, councillors were told. There were two formal abstentions, from the Lord Mayor and Lord Mayor-elect. Lib Dem Daryl Smalley, City of York Council's executive member for Culture, Leisure and Communities and proposer of the motion, said the honorary Freedom of York was the highest honour that the city could bestow on those who represented the very best of York. Daryl Smalley called for Prince Andrew to give up his ducal title. Image: PA. The honour is held by many notable and accomplished people who carry it with pride and responsibly, he said. Having been stripped of his military roles and royal patronages by the Queen, we believe that it is right to remove all links that Prince Andrew still has with our great city. The removal of this honorary title sends the right message that we as a city stand with victims of abuse. The council had previously debated at length its commitment to stand with victims of sexual abuse and work to end violence against females, Mr. Smalley. Councillors said the motion did not go far enough. Image: Reuters. As such, we believe it is inappropriate for Prince Andrew to retain his ambassadorial title that is so intrinsically linked to our city and finally, the next logical step would be for Prince Andrew to do the right thing and relinquish the title, he said. If he fails to do so, the government and Buckingham Palace must step in to remove his title to finally end Prince Andrew's connection to York. First to speak from the public gallery on Wednesday evening was Gwen Swinburne, who said, "Mr. Andrew Windsor is an utter disgrace. He brings shame and reputational damage everywhere he goes, including to our city. The motion to withdraw his status goes nowhere near far enough. He needs to be declared persona non grata in York. You, councillors, need to be starting whatever process is needed to remove his Duke title." Councillors during the meeting of the York City Council at the York Racecourse. Image: PA. Prince Andrew has faced calls to give up his ducal title for some time. Labour MP Rachel Maskell, who represents York Central, says Andrew must remove his association with the city in light of the out-of-court settlement reached with Virginia Giuffre. She said, "Although it is a relief that Prince Andrew has finally acknowledged and expressed regret for his close association with a convicted sex offender and sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, his long delay in doing so and initial response to the charges and Ms. Giuffre have been source of deep hurt and embarrassment to many people across the city. Carrying a title does create an ambassadorial relationship with that place, and for somewhere with a global reputation, such as York, this is extremely. It is to be welcomed that he has now pledged to support the fight against the evils of sex trafficking and its victims. To demonstrate his seriousness in this endeavor, and his respect for those affected by abuse and the people of our city, I would ask that his first act of contrition is to confirm his support for the withdrawal of his ducal title." Andrew is also facing calls for the removal of his ducal title. Image: AFP via Getty Images. Ms. Giuffre, also known as Virginia Roberts, made a claim against Andrew for damages in her home country of the U.S., claiming she was trafficked by Epstein to have sex with the royal when she was 17, a minor under U.S. law. The settlement agreement states that Andrew will donate to Ms. Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights and that he has pledged to demonstrate his regret for his association with Epstein by supporting the fight against the evils of sex trafficking, and by supporting its victims. The parties settled the case in February, and Andrew now says he regrets his association with Epstein. He has always strenuously denied Ms. Giuffre's allegations. Read more. Rishi Sunak says it'd be silly to give families any more energy bills help right now. Read more. Families demand Boris Johnson resigns over unlawful Tory COVID care home policy.